So my first dream, I'm at home and I remember my kids were there and it was like a random day. I think it's like a Saturday. I think it's the weekend. It's like Saturday or Sunday. And suddenly it's snowing outside in the middle of July. And I'm freaking out or making like a big deal out of it. So I'm going and I remember telling my kids. So in the dream, I'm telling my kids, I think there was somebody else there, like another family member, and I'm telling them, and I'm the only one who seems surprised. Like nobody else seems to care. Like it's no big deal, but it's like snowing in the middle of July. I'm like freaking out because it's like obviously a weather phenomenon or whatever, and it's not like ice pellets or whatever you call it, hailing. It's not hailing. I think it's actual like snow, but it's not like a big snowstorm. So it's like maybe it's almost like scattered flakies or whatever, and it's like snowing a little bit. And so I think at one point I either go on my phone. I think I turned the TV on. I'm turning the TV on. I put it on a news channel or like a weather channel, and I'm just kind of watching it. And then the news anchor or person is like explaining it and how it's like a weird phenomenon. But again, it's like it's not a big deal or something. Nobody seems to be freaking out as much as me. And I remember thinking about the whole global warming crap and if it has something to do with that or something. It was so random. But then in the same dream, as I'm explaining all that, and I think my kids are just sitting on a couch or something and they're on their phone. They're on cell phones or playing a video game or something. And I think suddenly I realized that I had to go into work. So it makes no sense because I think it's late in the day and it's a weekend, but I tell my kids I'm going to work or I have to go to work or I remember there's like an emergency shift or overtime thing at work or something. So I basically leave the house, I go to work, and it makes no sense because I'm basically going to work to start a shift, but as soon as I get to work, it's like the shift has ended. It's already the end of our shift. So it's like I fast forwarded that whole part or something, or well, it's almost like traveling in time or something. Not that I realized that was happening. It's just I just remember I get to work and it's the end of our shift for whatever reason. And there's a bunch of coworkers there, and it's like it makes no sense because it's like a whole other group of people, and the building looks a little different. And I remember I think it's 11. It's close to 11 o'clock or getting close to midnight. And so we're wrapping it up. Me and my coworkers are basically cleaning stuff up, and I suddenly realized there's an overnight shift group of people too, which we don't actually have, but there's just this group of people. I think I see at least four people, and they're youngish, like they look like maybe late teens, early 20s, and they're all just new employees. And there's like guys and girls, and they're all new people. Like it makes no sense. It's like they just started an overnight shift at our workplace. And I think I'm in the lunchroom at one point and I go into the office and I see everybody's just sitting down at desks and tables and they're talking and watching TV at the office, and they're mostly just socializing, and I'm wondering why they're still there because I think it's either 11, I think it's around 11. I remember it being 11 p.m. and we have to leave, and I'm like, are you guys staying here? What's going on? And I think some of them are like they're gonna stay even longer and do extra overtime or something, and they're all acting very casual, and it's still snowing outside because it's the same dream. And I don't think I even mentioned it to them, but I was still surprised about the snow, and I'm suddenly changing my clothes right there in the middle of this lunchroom or office area, and it's so random. But yeah, I take off. I think I had like a work shirt or something, so I take my shirt off and I'm topless, and there's a bunch of people there, and I'm still, I don't know why I'm even doing it there, but I'm embarrassed because they can see me without my shirt on, and it's like all these people, men and women, and I'm sucking in my stomach, so like trying to look as thin as I can. And so then I just changed my shirt. I put on a t-shirt on. I guess my work shirt was dirty or whatever, and I put on my t-shirt. And these guys are all just sitting there talking and socializing, making jokes, and it's pretty late too. So I'm kind of standing around a little bit, and I'm like, forget this. Like, why am I even here? I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go now. So I just say it. I say something like, all right, see you guys tomorrow. And I can't even remember. It makes no sense because it's like a Saturday or a Sunday. I think it was a Saturday. But anyways, I grabbed my stuff. I think I had like a jacket and a bag or something, and I go outside into the parking lot, and it's dark and it's late, and again, there's snow. Now there's more snow though, not like crazy amounts of snow, but there's like significantly more snow. And I don't even know whose car it was. It's like a big, almost like a big van, but it's like I'm getting into a big van. I guess it's my car, but I don't even have a van. But it's like this, like oversized van. It looked weird, almost like a mix between like a van and a Hummer, like a minivan. But yeah, it just looked. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like a big Humvee type weird van looking thing. And I get into it, and I'm warming. I remember I'm warming it up. It's in the middle of summer, so it's not even cold out, but there is snow on the car a little bit, and I'm warming up the car, and I'm about to drive off and just go home, and somebody else, I think there's somebody else in the parking lot next to me, and they're parking, and the most of the parking lot's empty at this point. I realize that this person's parking right next to me, like literally to the left side. So I'm in the car, and this other car comes and pulls up right to my left. I don't know who it was, and I kind of get annoyed. I'm like, this entire parking lot is empty, and yet this person's like choosing to park literally right next to me. And so I have to wait, and they keep like going forward and back, like they're adjusting the car, like trying to get it like lined up perfectly. And so they just keep adjusting it. I'm sitting there like kind of impatient and pissed off. And then they finally stop, and then that's when I can pull out of the parking spot and leave. And that's the last thing I remember from that dream. Like that was the whole dream sequence. And then I remember having another dream which made no sense either. It was so weird and random, but I'm in. So I think it's a bunker because I know the White House has an actual bunker underground. There's like I don't know if it's called the Situation Room or like the whatever it's called. It's like the presidential bunker thing right under the White House. So I'm there in this underground bunker, and I know it's like deep underground. I think it's like a mile down or whatever it is. But in the dream, I think I just appeared there. Like that's how the dream starts. I'm just there, but the funny thing is, I'm with some family, and so I think people are eating. It's like we're having a dinner or something, and we're walking around, we're socializing. It's like a pretty big room, and in the corner of the room, there's this long table. I'm pretty sure I'm there with my family. Yeah, I think I'm there with my family, and I think my kids are there. I think my ex-wife is there, and some friends or something. I can't remember the people very well. Like the people who are with me or my family members or friends, I can't remember really who they were specifically, but I know there's people with me, and we're a pretty big group. But anyways, in the corner though, I'm basically walking around and looking at stuff and talking like so casual. And so there's this long table at one kind of, it's kind of like a corner, but it's almost like hidden but not really. And it's like, how do I describe it? It's almost like like in a condo they have dens, like a separate little, it's open but it's kind of separated as well with like a kind of like a wall or a barrier, but it's still all open. You can go in there and look into it. But anyways, there's this table there and a bunch of screens and TV. Like it looks like military type stuff, or what do you call it? Like a situation room type stuff. Like in the movies and stuff, you see all the electronics and crap, like an actual like military little setup for tech and information and all that, computers and gadgets and like screens and tons, like these big panels full of buttons, like just like you see in the movies, like colored red and blue and all these different dials and colors and buttons and stuff. So anyways, though, at this table is Donald Trump is sitting at the table. So he is the current president in the dream, and he's facing away from you. So he's just sitting, and I think he's talking to like a general or somebody else, some other politician. So, and I'm kind of looking from far away. So he never turns around. I never look at him. Like I never see his face or something. But again, this is all like normal and casual. Like they're fine with us being there. It's like we're having a big underground dinner party with the president, but he's also in the middle of an important meeting. So Donald Trump is sitting there with his back to me. He's at the table, and there's two people to his left. One of them is a general. I think he's like a general or something. He's wearing like a military outfit. And then there's another person, much younger guy. He looks like he's maybe in his mid 20s, late 20s, and he reminds me of that character Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys or whatever. I think his name is Bubbles. I never even watched that show, but anyways, he's got like those really thick glasses, like those super thick rimmed glasses, because his vision is bad or whatever. And he's wearing like he's wearing soldier outfit too, like a military uniform, but he's like a low rank, like I guess like a private or something. And he's sitting at this big computer setup, and so I'm looking at the wall, and I remembered. So I read DEF CON, like I know it says something about DEF CON, and then I realized the numbers are there too. So it goes from 5 down to 1. So it just says DEF CON at the top, like the title, and then it says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then I think some of the numbers at one point are missing. So it goes like 5 and then 4, and then instead of the number 3, it's like a symbol that represents 3 or something. It's like it's this weird shape symbol or whatever. And then I think I see the number 2 and then number 1 and then another symbol as well. And so this guy who's sitting there, I think he's the person, this private soldier, whatever, he's monitoring it. It's his job to monitor it and keep an eye on it. And again, everybody else at this point, so there's like people behind me and to my right. And again, they're just kind of walking around, socializing, talking to each other, whatever. And I think there's other TVs there that are showing sports or something. And so they're watching sports. And so I'm talking to this guy suddenly, this soldier, and I'm like, I think I started asking him about, I'm like, the DEF CON. I'm like, why do the numbers look weird? I thought DEF CON only had 4 numbers. And obviously that's just from stuff I've seen in the movies. So I'm like telling him, and I'm like, oh, I thought it was DEF CON 4 down to 1. What does this mean? Why is there a 5 and stuff? So then he tells me, the soldier's like, oh, this isn't the regular military DEF CON. Like what you're seeing is the outer space version. He said something about space. He's like, oh no, this is like the space DEF CON. And I realized he's talking about like kind of like a war or something, or this is like the DEF CON for either aliens or like fighting in space. So there's like two different DEF CONs at this point. The way he's kind of explaining it to me, there's the military, like the US has the DEF CON for Earth, like for actual fighting other countries and stuff like that. But then there's like a secondary DEF CON that goes from 5 to 1. So it's got 5 numbers and it's like a whole different system. And it has to do with like space battles or alien battles or like, I guess, like an alien invasion or something. They use this separate DEF CON system for that stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like it's completely normal. I'm just like, I'm like nodding to him. I'm like, I understand. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah. And then I think a short while later, I'm talking to somebody else. I can't remember who. And at this point, I realized that this is our second time there in this deep underground White House situation room. I I remember in the dream, I remember that, oh, we had already been here a couple months before to watch some sort of sporting event. It was either like a World Cup soccer game or a UFC event that we were watching with Donald, like President Donald Trump. We were watching it with him deep underground in this big room or whatever. And so this was like our second time. This was actually like our second time back. And I'm like, I remember explaining it too in the dream. I'm like, oh yeah, remember we were here. Yeah, we were here a few months ago. I forgot we were here watching that game or something. I think I remember using the word game. So I'm explaining this to somebody who's with me in my own party, and again, there's other people there too, and I think there's even kids. I think there's like multiple kids running around, and I think that was it. Like the whole dream just starts and ends in that room, and that's all I remember. And the entire time, I remembered like Trump is just sitting in that chair, and his back is to me. I know it's him though. Like I know it's Trump, and he's just dealing with like important military government stuff, while everybody around him is just socializing, eating, and doing other random crap. So that was that dream. That's all I remember from that dream. And then I think I did have another dream or two, but I can't. Fuck, I can't remember them anymore. Those were the two main dreams I remember. There was another dream about, I think it was like another video game type dream. I think I'm in the video game though. I'm playing a game kind of like like a Call of Duty or Fortnite, and some guy's shooting at me at a distance. And so I think I had a sniper rifle, and I'm trying to snipe this character who's like far away, and I'm trying to aim and shoot. Yeah, that's what it was. So I don't know if I'm playing the game or I'm inside the game. Because a lot of times in dreams, I'm actually like the characters inside the movies or the video game. So I think I'm in the Fortnite game or Call of Duty. I can't remember. And so there's kind of like a hill. And I realize, so this person's far away. I have my sniper rifle and I'm trying to snipe him in like a very far distance. And as I'm doing that, because it's kind of like, I think it's camouflaged or the person is wearing camouflage, I realize there's a second person, like another bad guy, soldier, whatever, player, who's a lot closer to me. And he's kind of leaning against the hill. So I hadn't seen him. So he starts, I think, trying to shoot me. So I'm trying to snipe this guy far, far away when I suddenly realize there's another person a lot closer to me. And that's when I think I changed from my sniper rifle to like a handgun. And I'm trying to shoot the guy who's a lot closer to me. And he's running backwards, shooting towards me. I think I end up hitting him. I hit him a few times with my gun. And obviously, it's like a video game. So he just disappears suddenly. Like he vanishes. And then I'm running down this hill, and that's all I remember. I think it was like a very short little video game fighting sequence dream thing. And that's all I remember from that dream. And then I think that's it. Yeah, I can't remember anything else. That's all I remember from my dreams.